Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Protein Bros Podcast. Today we have two very special guests, Paige and Charlie Clubb. They are the new owners of a brand new gym that just opened up in Liberty, Missouri called Lift Kansas City. We talk a bit about their past, what got them to this point, the decisions that went into the gym and how they made the gym feel personal to them, the community they've built, as well as what to expect from Lift Kansas City moving forward. If you have ever thought about opening your own gym, this is a great episode to tune into. They give you a lot of insight as to the decisions they had to make along the way and some of the challenges that they had to face. Appreciate you guys, as always, taking the time to listen. Let's get into the episode. How are things going so far? Let's just talk about that first. Kyle and I have been in business now for a little over 8 years, but we've been managing business for 15 plus. So just like, what's the start been like? Has it been better than you expected, or is it worse than you expected? Where are you guys at and how can we help?
Have the new business jitters, have they worn themselves out yet? Or is it still kind of like, what the hell are we doing?
He was just saying the other day that he doesn't even feel like he owns a gym yet. He's like, I just go in there and I feel like I'm at the gym hanging out with my buds. That's all it is. Yeah. So it doesn't really feel like a business, I guess. And I'm there all day long. I'm there from 7:30 to
she's the one that's
9:30.
She's like, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm cleaning and doing all the things, absolutely. But it's chilling. Just we're learning every one of our members' names that comes in. Like, we know all of them. Like, I sit and talk with them. We're gonna start doing a member of the month where I'm gonna randomly pick someone and I'm gonna interview them and post that, what their story is, so that we can put our members out there. But I think it's been really good so far. It's better than I expected it to be.
I had zero expectations. I just showed up. Like I told you before, I felt like I was getting pushed off the ledge. I was down for it, and then when we made the decision, this is happening, I was like, okay, here we go.
Well, why don't you tell the listeners exactly what motivated you guys to want to start a gym and kind of what the starting process was like?
So I'd say I grew up, my first job was in a gym, and it's something I always wanted to do, was have a gym. But, when you're young and you're growing up, that seems so far off.
You're like, I don't even know how you would acquire,
even
gym
now,
equipment.
Yeah, I learned that about 4 months ago.
Yeah. Amazing.
I told you it was funny because once we decided to do this, it's like, now what? I didn't know who to reach out to. So this whole process has just been experiment, and it's kind of working. But no, my first job was at the community center in the weight room doing my thing, and it's something that I've always been interested in. I grew up doing martial arts, so I didn't play any conventional sports. So I was always around. I had a lot of people in my life. My parents were always working and stuff, and they did what they could, to get me back and forth to everything, all the activities, school events and stuff. But so I was really, as I get older, I kind of look back, right? We always start to, especially we have 2 kids of our own, you start looking back at your childhood and how things, how you became who you are now. And it was, everybody in my life, whether they were peers of mine or somebody a little older, the old guys at the gym, and just surrounding yourself with those kind of people and learning from them constantly. And, that's where real development, it takes a tribe, right, to raise a knucklehead like me, especially. So as we got to a point where we started working out and took that a lot more serious, we always yo-yo dieted. And, I was out of shape, unhealthy. Paige had her own health issues that I'm sure she'll share. But we got to a point where we're like, we got to make this change. So we started working with a coach locally, and what really helped us buy in was everybody around us. The people who were supporting us. We worked with Steve with Brickyard Fitness.
Mm-hmm. Steve Raylos.
Yeah.
Steve and Nina.
Solid people. Yeah, they're great.
Love them.
And so when we started working with them, we would have a lift every Saturday, and you got all these people around you, and just started hanging out, and then you're around like-minded people, and you build those relationships. And we were like, man, this is really what we needed. This is what we were missing, and people who are small business owners, people who are hustling, people who are grinding, whether that's in fitness or in life, we started noticing a change in us. And so we started working with Nick Langer for coaching, and he's based out of Omaha.
That's BR Physiques.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Right.
So we started working with him, and then Paige actually started coaching under him with BR Physiques. And so as we're going through this process, we're just meeting more and more people. We're going to, open gyms here in Kansas City, events that you guys put on. We're doing going to bodybuilding shows, and just constantly we're noticing that the people around us are just grinding and hustling. And so it's like, it's infectious, it takes a hold of you. And so, as we start to move along through this process, we started to become more goal oriented, started looking about, in our lives and what we're wanting to do. So we're like, man, this would be sick to have our own gym. This would be nice to have our own place where we can interact with these people, where we can help change lives and have a facility where people can come in. And
you built up enough like local business, right? Where it's like you had enough clients now that are seeking your guys' help and advice. It's like, well, where can we have like a beacon for our culture?
Right.
Yeah.
Where can we have a place where we can all gather and get everybody together at once? And because there's strength in numbers.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So as you guys are growing this business, as far as the coaching side with you, Paige, because as right now, Charlie, you're not coaching currently. Is that right? Or you are?
No, I mean, I have a couple buddies, I help out and stuff, but
Sure.
I'm not officially coaching. That's all on her.
Well, he's also working full time currently.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So tell everybody, you're basically a business owner and you also have a job doing.
So I'm a union pipe fitter with Local 533. So I've been in the industry for probably 10 years, and then I've been in the local for going on 7. So it's tough, I don't sleep much.
I was about to say, how is opening a business doing double duty like that? I can only imagine that's quite a undertaking.
Yeah. Well, and with what I do for work, I do a little bit of everything. So that really helped. Like, we built out the gym ourselves. I mean, obviously we had some great friends that came in and helped. But the only thing we did not do is finish the drywall and lay the turf. Everything.
Yeah, because finishing drywall
The hardest workers in the room, the drywall finishers.
Yeah.
No one wants to do it.
And
that was the one thing we were like, we are not doing that.
If you do it yourself and then you hire in somebody who's an expert at doing it, you're just like, oh, why would I even try and do that? They do it in literally like a fourth of the time.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's an art form to watch people do
it really
that.
is.
Truly.
And so they came in, they finished it and prepped it for paint, and then we painted it. But we did it all ourselves, and so there was a lot of long nights.
Hey guys, I'm going to take 30 seconds just to say, if you haven't already, we would love for you to support the show. This is not a podcast that we try to make money off of. It's 100% to support our local fitness community. If you like to support local fitness and you are somebody who likes to support that, we'd ask you to support it by supporting the show. Just give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share. It all helps. We appreciate you guys so much for listening. Let's get back to the episode.
We got through it. I just, task oriented, just focused. What do we need to complete today? Put my head down at work. And that was kind of the beauty behind the whole thing, is like, you got your nose down, you're working. Well, then now we're getting towards the end of this. And then when everything's finalized, we're getting equipment moved in, and you can kind of take that moment to stop and look up, and you're like, oh my goodness, the vision is coming together. And we knew just, in our conversation, we knew what colors we wanted to go with. We had this idea of the look, the lights, the layout. Mm-hmm. So as we went through and just like check that box, check. And when you get down to the bottom, you're like, well, hopefully people like it. Like,
you get to the point where you're like, holy shit. At least for us, we were like, hopefully people like show up and actually want to like shop with us.
Yeah. So, and I kind of went off on a little tangent there, but when we were, like I said, Paige was coaching under Nick. And then he was having the coaches write out their goals and everything. And that's when the conversation came up with him about wanting us to open a gym here in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. And Nick Langer has 3 gyms up in Omaha. And we would go up, I'd say once a month, to work with Paige's clients. She would visit them in person. I'd take the kids and go hang out at the zoo while she was putting in the work. Mm-hmm. But we just make fun trips out of it. And taking
kids to the zoo is work in itself.
The Omaha Zoo, though, is the shit.
It's sick. Yeah.
People tell us all the time Omaha Zoo is where it's at.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky. So our kids are older. Our kids are actually 14 and 15. So they're just like having little friends.
Does it get better? Is it easy by that point, hopefully?
Different challenges.
Yeah.
It's never easy, dude.
I'm sure this becomes a challenge at that point where it's like they want to be on their phone and crap all the time.
No, they're great. And they've had so much fun during this process. They've helped us out. They've been excited. Actually, our son's the one that found the space. Mm-hmm. So
is he a little meathead?
He's getting there. He's pretty jacked. Yeah. So he plays football. He tried basketball this year. I don't think it's really his thing, but he put it all out there, and he's getting ready to do track. So he's an athlete. Our daughter, she's a little bit more creative, a little more artistic. She's a free spirit, and she can be a little temperamental at times. But she's the homie. She's the real one.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So you mentioned that he found the space for you. So a lot of times, when somebody's opening a business, they get to, a lot of, you talked about roadblocks that you guys had like mentally as far as like, I don't know if I could start a business. And a lot of those end up being, how do you find a space? How do you find an accountant? How do you find, gym equipment? Can you go through the process that you guys went through? You mentioned your son found the location for you. How'd you guys do that? Were you just driving by and saw something that looked like it would be a good location?
So we wanted to keep it in Liberty. We knew the area we wanted. So that's where it starts. And then we just hit the pavement. We were driving around. We found the location that we're at. We're at 291 on the south side by Liberty Drive. Well, the next block over is Brown Street. So they had just built some new like warehouse space. And we're like, this will be sick. They would build it out however we wanted. So we went by there and looked at it, and it just didn't have the feel, right? Mm-hmm. It was kind of like this weird shotgun style. And it just didn't fit. So we kept going around. We're like, man, there's nothing available. Yep. And so
everything was too small. There's no big spaces available.
Mm-hmm. Or they were massive.
And since either you're going to get in the warehouse area where the price per foot's really low, but like it's not the same kind of traffic.
Right.
Or if you find the grade A spots that are really great visibility, great traffic, really high cost per foot, and they don't have a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. That's exactly what it was. And then our son was like,
he was out riding his bikes.
He was out riding his bike with his buddies because they go up to that Price Chopper, which is right next to us. And he's like, Woodchucks is gone. It was the axe throwing place. And I was like, no shit, is it really? And he was like, yeah. So we went up there and immediately called them. And they weren't locals. I think they're based out of New York.
Something
like that. Yeah. And so I called them, and she's like, well, there's a lockbox. I can just give you the code. You guys can go look around. So we went in, and as soon as we walked in, I was like, this is it. Like, this is where we're going to be. So I sent pictures and stuff to Nick, and I was like, this is where we're doing it. He came down the next week and looked at it, and we put in the application for
how many square foot?
7,800.
Nice. You have a
big space.
Yeah.
It's great that Nick was able to help kind of consult along the way here then a little bit.
Yeah. With him opening as many gyms as he has, like, he was great.
He's got it all down as far as how much things should cost and whatnot.
Yeah.
Going through the process, guys, I'd like to ask you both a question, have you answer. Paige, for you, I'd want to know, just through opening the gym, what is something that you did not anticipate it being so difficult as it was? And then what's something that was conveniently like, this is a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be? Something for you, Charlie. That's what I want you to think about.
Difficulty was getting a loan.
What you just like, it's the stuff you don't prepare for. Like
it was like, I understood it was not going to be like an easy process, but like our loan officer had never done one before. So we kept having to go through things, and like it just seemed like it took so much longer than I expected it to.
Did you get an SBA loan?
For me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, the SBA makes you jump through lots of hoops.
Yeah.
Lots.
Yeah, so like I said, I knew it'd be hard. It just seemed more difficult than it should have been.
I always thought the worst thing about a gym would be if you've ever unloaded the mats that go into a gym, and then you think about how many square foot that is. Dear God.
So
might be worse than moving like heavy equipment.
The S2 guys came out and moved all of the mats for us. Yes.
That's a solid crew up there.
They came and helped move. They also came and helped when we got the shipments of
Did you get Micah Lubin in there moving all those?
Mike came out a couple times. Gabe and Justin were really,
those guys live there.
They were
the
ones that helped us the most. Yeah, for sure.
There's our boy right there.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Look at it. God, dude. He's a freak.
He is.
Talk about a good bodybuilder. Micah won an award for us for our hardest worker award.
Yep.
And in the presentation to like give him the award, I was like, oh, and he won this bodybuilding show. He got up there. The first thing he said, well, I won 2 bodybuilding shows.
Actually won 2 overall.
I actually won 2, but you know.
Of course
you
got
stats.
that wrong.
No, yeah, Scott's built a good crew up there, man. We're really proud of him.
Yeah.
So that was the thing that was most difficult. What's the thing that was something that you thought was surprisingly like, this was better than I thought it was going to be?
So I would say, honestly, getting the space was pretty easy. Like I thought we'd have to like sign our life away, but they'll give spaces to anybody. They're just like, sign here. Okay, cool, it's yours. And I'm like, oh, okay, that was easy.
That's your landlord.
Yeah. Okay, doesn't work like that for everybody. All right. No, it was that part was like surprisingly easy, but like I said, I had zero expectations, and so I didn't know what to expect. So as we went through this process, if it seemed to be a little more challenging, I'm like, okay, I guess this is the hard part. And then we'd get through that portion, and like I said, Nick was so great during this process. And what I like about working with Nick is he's there when you need him, and he's hands off when as our gym is starting to build out now, our membership's going up. We have some things people brought to our attention that we didn't foresee, or some new opportunities. He allows us to solve those puzzles. He lets us work through this. He's done it. It's easy to pick up the phone and call him and be like, what do I do here? How do we get through this? But we don't want to do that. Our market's a little different than Omaha. Our gym is completely different than Iron Heaven, but he's there when we need him, and he's hands off when he needs to be. And that's been the greatest part, is he's pushing us to learn. He's pushing us to figure out and solve these puzzles as we work through this and as we grow as business owners. So that, I think, is really the best part about it, because it's easy to just run over and like, hey, how do I fix this?
And it sounds like it correlates well to how he coaches.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
When you first open a business, and I mean, we were just having this conversation. I'm sorry. We were just having this conversation, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago. When you first open a business, there's like a learning period of like understanding the cash flow and understanding like, okay, this is how money accumulates in our business. And this is how, when you pay, the bills that you have to pay as a business, this is how money flows out of our business. And it takes like a year or two to like fully grasp that, to where you're like, okay, I get where we can spend money and where we can't spend money. I get where money gets tight, and where money, where we have extra money. And
the seasonality
of it,
really
you guys are going to, you guys are in the same business as us, essentially, where you're going to get really busy, come the new year, and then you're going to kind of get a drop off at the, dog days of summer, and the good thing about like you guys is that you have, I would say you have more serious people, that are at your gym, and you'll have people that work out year round, but, gyms, supplement stores, anything fitness related, especially in the Midwest, is somewhat seasonal. It seems like people, if they're going to say screw their diet, screw working out, it happens between like Thanksgiving and Christmas. People are like, screw it. I'm just done.
It starts the day after Labor Day, in my opinion.
Yep.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just a slide.
Yep.
All the way
But anyways,
there,
that's what I was kind of saying that, because it seems like he's done a good job of like understanding that he can't baby you through that process. You kind of have to like, live through it to like fully grasp it.
Trial by fire.
That's the same thing when we moved to Kansas City. It's like our owners didn't do that at all. They were like basically very hands off, and it allowed me to learn the things that I was just saying about like cash flow. And if you don't have that in the beginning, if you have somebody that's holding your hand too much, then you don't really learn. Yeah.
Right.
What have you guys recognized so far? Like, Paige, I know that you already had kind of a foundation of clients that were going to become members on day one. What have you guys done to try to attract just a general membership base?
So everyone that comes in, we're obviously brand new, so we have lots of people that just come by and knock on the door and want to come in and get a tour.
Yeah.
But when we're giving people tours, we're really trying to like express how much we are trying to curate an environment that is all about the members. We have like a QR code people can scan, and they add music to our Spotify playlist. So everything we listen to in the gym is stuff that the members have chosen to put on a playlist.
That's pretty cool.
We're going to actually steal your guys' idea, and we're going to put up a slideshow with our members, like hitting PRs and lifting and being with their buds. So like they're going to be on there. Everyone gets a free orientation when they sign up. So we walk them around, we teach them how to use all of the machines. And while we're doing that, we're introducing them to everybody in the gym. So everyone sees a friendly face. Everyone knows each other in the gym. I want the 6'2" bodybuilder and the 75-year-old lady who's never been in the gym to be like buddies and like help each other. So we're really, really pushing that environment. We're teaching the teenagers that come in there proper gym etiquette and like how to behave when we're in the gym, because I don't know if it's because we're parents to teenagers or what, but we take it upon ourselves as like, it's our job to teach them how to do this. They're kids. They don't know what they're doing. They think that 5 of them standing at one machine is okay. And we're trying to show them we're in here to work, and like we unrack our plates and we don't take our shirts off in front of the mirrors and pose. And like, we don't do any of that. We have a posing room for all of that. But I think that helps, because we have a lot of people come in with a misunderstanding of what a gym should be. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's, again, our job to kind of show people how it should be in a gym, and you should be comfortable in the gym, and you should know people in the gym. You shouldn't feel awkward every machine you sit down at and don't know how to use it, so you go to a different one. So I think that has been a really big thing for us, is just a lot of people see when they come in for their tour, they see the other members talking to each other, and they see the way the teenagers are acting, and they see that no one's working out with their headphones on because everyone likes the music that we're playing. Like things like that, I think is just a different environment than most people are used to when they come in and see a gym.
Sure.
You know, a lot of people talk about, you know, making the culture like a focal point, but you know, going out of your way to do the things you just said and like making sure that people are introducing each other, you know, introducing themselves to each other and that you're remembering their names. And I love the idea with the Spotify thing. But I mean, you probably are getting just the wildest assortment of music.
An assortment of music on there right now.
So we have one member, solid dude,
Yeah.
but he like dumped albums on.
Yeah.
Just like whole playlists of stuff.
Don't be that guy that's going to ruin it for everybody. Right?
Listen, dude, it's the same thing as like in a bar, man. You can only like you need to max out at like 4 songs, and then you let somebody else in there.
It's enough Creed.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Oh, hey, never enough Creed.
I mean, dude,
Dude, have you guys ever thought about like for just like the different genres that could be polarizing, let's say country or metal or something like that, having like Metal Fridays or Country Thursdays or something like that?
I've thought about trying to almost like categorize the playlist in a way where I can kind of like rotate things out, something similar to that. I think that's a really great idea, but just kind of like making it so we can not have to play through the entire playlist all the time. Cause there's definitely, you hit like 15 songs of screaming in a row. Like not everybody wants to do that. So we have to like click through a bunch of
I don't want to give
stuff.
a tour to this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I would
I
love
do.
it.
I
I'd be
do
like,
get
in
in and
on
change
it.
the songs based on who I'm giving tours to. I'll go like change it real quick and make sure we're not listening to crazy stuff with certain people in there. But yeah.
I get it.
that was a big deal whenever we were up, just our high school football team. We did Country Fridays, and we loved it. It was something that like you'd save up all like the songs that you liked throughout the week so you could unload them on that Friday.
Yeah.
So
No, I think that's a great
small
idea.
thing.
Yeah, what's something fun we like to do is when we go on vacation, we'll find a cool gym in the area and pop in and just see.
Pick up one thing from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
smart.
There's a lot of great gyms in KC, and so seeing what works, what doesn't work, what we like, and just kind of incorporating that. You know, we came through, and there's a long list that just never ends, right? On what you can fill the space with, what you can do as far as amenities and the look and all that. So we just tried to, you know, get a little bit of everything, try to check as many boxes as we can, and just find out what works, what didn't work. And so we love the door system that's used at a few gyms here in Kansas City. We use Gym Masters. It's all on an app. You come up to the door. You can buy your memberships, your day passes, schedule a tour, everything through that app. And so you walk up. So our facility is locked 24/7, similar to Flex. And that way it's a nice environment. It's a safe environment. We have people that work out all hours of the night. So we need to make sure that, you know, everybody can come in there and listen to the music. If they do have their headphones, they don't have to look over their shoulder at 1 o'clock in the morning because somebody's going to wander in off the street. So it's just it's a cool feature. The lights that we have in there, we have those really cool hexagon lights. We wanted to have a cool aesthetic look to the space, but also kind of cast the shadows in the right areas and the posing room. That's huge. We have a 16 by 16 posing room. We are open to suggestions from members. That's one thing that like I said, this is their space. So when the first set of lights we had up in there, they were washing people out. They're a little too bright. So we talked to some of the competitors. We talked to some people who, you know, have spent some time in a posing room or on stage, and we asked them. And so we've changed the lights, and they're not perfect, but they're getting better. And so that's what we want to curate as a space that, like I said, it's more like, I want it to be more of like a utility, right? You pay your monthly membership, and this is your space. We're curating a space and an environment that is for you. We try to get some really good equipment in there, try to have some cool tunes, and then a space where you can, like a one-stop shop. You know, we have the tanning, we have the posing room, we have the gym.
The tanning's included with the membership as well?
So it's actually a $20 add-on.
Mm-hmm.
So our membership right now is $50 a month with the $20 add-on for the tanning.
$50, that's it?
That's it, man.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You guys are, you know, big supporters of local fitness. And like you said, well before you opened a gym, you guys were supporting a bunch of different local gyms, attending different events. You know, you're heading to local gyms when you guys are on trips and on vacations and so forth. And so I want to give you guys just the chance to shout out some local gyms that you guys really like here and name an amenity that you really liked that you wanted to incorporate into your gym from when you were going there. So it's not you're not stealing anything from them. You're simply just wanting to honor what you saw there and try to do something similar.
I want to throw out Beastified and them just because of the community that they have built there. We met Sid at one of the NPC shows, and he became just a really good resource for us. We went out to their grand opening, and their community of people that they have that are like ride or die for Beastified is really cool to see. And so I know that was one thing that we wanted to make sure we had was like a really good, solid community that came out to our gym.
Yeah, we were impressed by Sid in our interview with him as well.
Yeah.
He's hands down. He's great, man. He's solid. He actually gifted us a couple dumbbell racks.
Yeah.
And he's like, here, man, little gym warming gift. And good luck.
Yeah.
Super
Send us
cool.
on our way.
Super cool.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's great. And you know, Steve and Nina with Brickyard, they've been awesome. And you know, that relationship of them coaching us initially has turned into a great friendship. We sat down with them.
They were one of the first people we told that we were going to open a gym. We hadn't told our families or anything, and we called Steve and Nina and wanted to go sit down with them and get advice from them on everything. So they were a huge part of it.
Yeah, we sat down with them and had dinner and just kind of picked their brain, and they've done great, work over there with Brickyard, and it's an awesome facility. And so, just wanted to kind of dive in. What did you guys do? What did you see? What's this market like? And they both, Sid and Steve and Nina, They opened the door. They put everything out there. Gave us great contacts, in which that's what we need, right? And we tried to use local business owners as we built out our gym. Like I said, I did a lot of work myself, but when we needed stuff as far as like the drywall guys, he's a small local business owner. He builds a couple houses here and there, and he just has a framing crew and a drywall crew. And so they came out and they did a fantastic job, and the communication was great. And then Jason and Heather with Flex Fitness.
Yep.
Little biased. I love that gym. It's hands down the best gym in Kansas City. The atmosphere, the equipment. Jason hand selects everything he has. You see stuff in there that is old, but it works, man, and it's cool. It's like an old classic car. You go in there, and if you're a gym nerd, you're like, dang, dude, this is top notch. So. And they've been super, super supportive. They shot us a message and just congratulated us, told us, they're proud of us and everything. So that's the thing, man, is when we showed up, we've been going to these different events for probably the past 4 or 5 years, meeting people. And when we had the grand opening, you don't know what's going to happen. You could have, 50 people show up. And when we put out the bat signal and we're like, hey, we're doing this. I mean, we had probably 250 people come through, and it was nothing but love. And it was a great day. It was busy. We were running on like 2 hours of sleep, and
getting it already.
It was insane. But I mean, it was photo finish. We were right up to the last minute, but everybody who came out was extremely supportive, and it was so much fun. And it was nice to see this whole thing, just this whole vision, the hard work, the long nights, everything come together, and just this beautiful masterpiece. It was sick.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys. I think that's something that people don't look at is they see the overnight the doors opening, and they don't realize just the amount of grind that obviously went into that, and just the conversations about what you would want to see in your own gym. How many years ago that started? You know what I mean? Like the image of what you wanted in your head has started so long ago, and so what a gratifying moment to finally see it all come to fruition there, and then have all these people that you love come in and actually use the equipment.
Yeah.
Well, and I hope that. That this will be an opportunity for us to meet really get to know our members and show them that Paige and I are nobody special. We had a dream, we had a vision, and there's a lot of steps to get to that point, and it can seem overwhelming. And so I think if a lot of people don't make that jump, they don't go after the things that they're passionate about, because it can, it's 1,000 miles away sometimes. And it's just like bit by bit and piece by piece, you have to kind of find a way to organize that and start chipping away at it. And like I said, I just made that list, and we just check each box every day. And the next thing you know, half that list is done. And then a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then you're there. And like I said, I just put my nose down and worked. And so when it was nice, when that grand opening, you can look up and it's done. People are there. They're supporting you. And, it's just, I just want, there's so many people out there who are just missing that, that they're just not quite, because they don't know where to start. And so hopefully we can help people, find their thing and be able to live their dreams, and there's a lot of great people who come through the door, and everybody's got a story, and we've all been ran through the ringer in some way or another. And, hopefully that our, what we've built, just gives us that opportunity, that platform to help it,
inspire more of it. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. What were we going to say, Kyle?
I was just going to say, you guys, so are you competing currently?
So we both did our first show last June.
Yeah.
And then the plan was for both of us to compete this year at the Kansas City show in November. But with us doing the gym, we took like 3 months off of
doing
anything. So we're kind of figuring out what our new
you didn't want to
plan is going to
diet down to really low body fat percentage while trying to open a gym.
No.
I don't know if our plan was in the fall. I don't know if that's still Paige's plan or not. But I'm gonna hold off until the spring. I've always wanted to do St. Louis. I've never done that show.
In Midwest. It's awesome,
dude. It's a huge show. There's the kids. Look at my son's even taller than me, man. It's ridiculous.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I competed in classic. Paige did a bikini, and it was a lot of fun. And growing up, and like, if you're in sports, or whatever, and then you hear like bodybuilding competition. When I hear competition, I'm like, okay, we gotta get a little pumped up, gotta get psyched up. It wasn't that at all. It was more of like a celebration of the work that you've put in. Everybody there was super nice, super positive. It didn't matter what you looked like. Everybody was really encouraging. And when you're backstage, like getting ready, they're helping you get pumped up. They're helping you kind of watch where you're at in line. And it was a really positive experience. It was really cool. So that's one thing that really took me by surprise with the whole process. We had been to a lot of events, but you're not there backstage. You don't see, how that works.
Like a bodybuilding shows, you're in the back, and it's kind of like you've been through the same you kind of have like that camaraderie because you're like, this is the last 12 weeks to 15 weeks has sucked. Yeah. And I know that you went through the same shit. Yeah. And I know you went through the same shit. And I mean, my experience with it too, it's like you very rarely meet somebody who's a total douche, in the back of a bodybuilding show. I mean, it happens, but it's not like very rare. Yeah, very rare. Yeah. Which is probably a misconception that a lot of people have. A lot of people think that it's not like that, but it really is, at the actual show. The NPC Midwest, I have a lot of good memories there. It's an awesome show. You should definitely do it. I met Phil Heath one year there. Oh, nice. He had a booth right next to us, and Phil Heath was like, at that point, was like at the tip top of everybody thinking he was not a nice guy because of like the Kai thing that he was going through at the time. And he was at the NPC Midwest with me till like 1:30 in the morning, helped us break down our booth, took pictures with every single person that came through line. And I was like, he is a legit dude.
Couldn't have been a nicer guy.
When I became a really big fan of Phil Heath was not, I mean, he was winning Olympias at that time, but it wasn't that made me a fan of him. It was just basically his overall. Yeah. And I've met a lot of good people through the years of the NPC Midwest. It's a huge show from like, it's probably the biggest show in the Midwest, I would guess.
Yeah, it is.
And,
we've gone 4 years.
Yeah, 3
We've
or 4
gone to
years.
St. Louis 4 years. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should do it.
Yeah. That's
both you guys do it.
list, man.
It's not, just new business, do that.
Yeah.
Have 2 kids.
Just everything all at once. Why not?
No, it was interesting. We prepped together, and we got through that. So I think we can go through anything. Yeah. We started a business right after that.
A lot of people won't do that. They got to say you diet, and I won't, and vice versa.
I don't think we could have done it that way.
Yeah, it was easier. I mean,
I couldn't sit and watch him eat a bunch of food if I was prepping. Yeah, I wouldn't do well with that.
We both were suffering through it together, and our kids were so funny during the whole process, and they were really supportive, and they didn't let us, waver.
They made sure we stayed on track, 100%. Yeah,
they were kind of mean about it.
I was about to say, the snack pantry's got to be tough in that house.
Your son looks like he could eat anything and everything he wants.
He doesn't stop.
He can and he does, and it's ridiculous.
Oh, but he
got
works
that young metabolism.
Yeah. He just shot up this last year, man. Like he's probably 2 inches taller than me, and like I said, he's all about football. So he works out, and he was a little disappointed with the Chiefs, performance.
As we all are.
It's okay. He's still ride or die. He's
very
with them, man.
Yeah.
But he's great. And our daughter, she's been super, super supportive during the whole thing. And the kids, we told them, because it does take up all of your time.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people try to fit bodybuilding into their life. That's not how it works. You fit your life into bodybuilding. And we dove in 100%. We had been to these shows. We have friends that compete. So we kind of had done our research. We knew what it was going to take. And we told them, you guys have the emergency stop. If it ever gets to the point where you're feeling like mom and dad are not engaging, or that we're not giving you guys enough time or attention, or, this is taking, our attention away from you guys, let us know. We shut it down immediately. And it never got to that point. We have, just constant communication with them, especially when we started doing this gym thing and being out all night working. And we would have like rotational shifts of like, all right, you go home and kick it with the kids, or they'd come up and help us. And, it is a construction zone though. So we wanted to make sure that, nobody's getting hurt and everybody's safe. But like we would
get OSHA out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Make sure we're on the up and up. But we just had to keep that line of communication open. I think that's one thing we've done pretty good with our kids is just talking, like
it's awesome. Yeah. They open, clear communication, transparent communication with them. I think that's awesome, man.
So yeah, they've been great. So
it lets them know that you guys are also human. You know what I mean? I think everybody looks at their parents through the lens of like idealism, and it's like, well, yeah, ideally I'd be a perfect parent. So it's just a matter of letting them know, hey, I'm going to make mistakes, but you got to let me know where I'm off.
Yep.
For sure, yeah.
I also think that, I grew up with like parents that they left the house at 7 a.m. They went to work. They worked for Boeing. They worked for this big company. They got off at 4. And that was like my perception of like what your life almost had to be like. And so for them to be able to see you guys work on this thing and build out this thing and show them that like life can kind of be what you want it to be, right? You can kind of pick and choose which way you want your life to go, especially at like a formidable age, about like 14 and 16 is huge. They can look at you and be like, because I didn't realize that until Andy, our old boss, was like, hey, dude, you can own, businesses. And I'm like, me? I was like, I don't know shit about he's like, you do know shit about business. You've been running one of my businesses for a long time. So you do know. And it just, I think it like is such a good time to like open their eyes into like, you can do whatever you want. You want to start a business? Well, this is how you do it. You find the location, you found it, and then you just kind of take these steps.
That's the exact conversation we have with them is we show them like their involvement during this process. And like, you guys have been helping us. You guys have been there the entire step of the way. You guys have the plans to start a business. You guys know how it works, And that's the thing, my story is similar to yours where you saw your parents doing one thing and I didn't realize that there was another option. And that didn't happen to me until later in life where I'm like, well, that guy did it. Why can't I do it?
Yeah.
And so that's, again, why we want to be able to have this opportunity to show people like we're nobody special. I do, construction for work every day. Like I'm just a regular guy. I don't have a degree. I didn't go to school. And you can do these things. If you're passionate about it and you set yourself up, it's possible, but it's hard. It's real hard,
It's like the world tells you like getting an SBA loan is impossible, It's like until somebody actually gets an SBA loan that and then until they sign a lease that's to a big, you're just like, oh, well, you just do that? You just, get a loan and then sign a lease and then, it's crazy. But, unless you have somebody that's in your life that is a business owner, a lot of times it seems like an unreachable thing.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's super valuable to your kids to be able to see that.
Do you guys have anything in the works with Lyft that you guys want to let people know about that are just things to look at or that are maybe coming,
Yeah. The beginning of March, we're going to start doing group training classes. You can expand on that a little bit more if you want. As far as like in the mornings, right? We're going to do it.
We're still figuring out all the details. The plan right now, I think, is twice a week. They'll be in the mornings, and then we're going to start putting polls up on the Instagram, just figuring out like what times work best for people, what kind of classes they want to do, and we'll kind of curate it around what our members are wanting to do. A
member spotlight monthly as well.
Yep. So once a month, I'm going to randomly choose a member. I'm going to interview them and post that just kind of with their backstory, what brings them into the gym. I want to get our members out so that everyone can learn about everybody and we can all like realize that we're all in this together. We all have the same stories. We all have the same goals. Like we are all like-minded individuals all in the same place. So I want to start really highlighting all of that.
I love it. That's a great idea. You guys have a monthly flat rate of $50 as well.
Paige,
what would be a day pass cost?
15.
Awesome.
I was going to say, Paige, can we see your tattoo? Is that a sloth?
Which one? Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Dude, you see that?
I have a sloth and a moth.
That's cool.
Yeah.
She's got a ton of them.
What's the symbolism behind the moth?
Nothing. It was cute.
Bro, I hate when people ask me that about tattoos. What does it mean? I'm just like, it means nothing.
When I was 18, they all had meetings, but now they're just random. They're just fun at this point. We do have the king and queen of clubs. Because our last name is Clubb. And then Aubrey is our daughter, so she's going to get the ace, and then Jackson is going to get the jack. So we
she's the ace and he's the jack.
Yeah.
No, I just thought it was funny. Yeah, king of clubs. So I don't have near as many as she does, man. She's covered them.
I have a lot of them.
Anyway, guys, we have one question we ask all of our listeners.
Okay.
It's very simple. Kansas City is known for barbecue. Where is the spot for you guys when you have people come in town you have to take them to?
Oh, dude. So with what I do for work, it's great because I drive a service truck. So I go to all kinds of spots and I meet all kinds of cool people. And so to me,
he's the food guy.
Yeah.
100%.
Slaps. I love it. It's great barbecue. So I recommend that. Obviously, it's Kansas City, man. You can't miss. But I really like Slaps.
Slaps is one of the most respectable answers on here.
It really is.
It's a handful.
So
I
good.
think that's Kyle's favorite.
Yeah.
Do you know what Slaps stands for?
No.
Squeal like a pig.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's easy.
That makes it even better.
That was their barbecue team name whenever they compete.
Okay, yeah.
Paige, are you a barbecue person, or what? If you are just getting out of prep, first thing you're eating, what is it?
Mexican.
Tacos.
Yeah. Tacos all day.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite spot? Because I feel like tacos are like pizza. Like it's all pretty good.
Even when
it's bad, it's still pretty
Just
good.
like authentic corn,
it's all
some
pretty
meat,
good.
cilantro.
Yeah, I don't really have
onion.
a favorite spot. I just tacos.
Have you been to
tacos.
Benito, Michoacan?
No, where is
Yeah,
that?
I've been out there. Yeah.
He goes everywhere and doesn't take me to
Next
these
to your grocery
restaurants.
store?
Yeah.
That's the shit, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
That's right. So I was gonna say it's right by Slaps.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
hit up Benito,
now we
Michoacan.
get to go there.
Yeah.
Next Taco Tuesday, hit it up.
Okay,
Yeah.
deal.
Best tacos in Kansas City.
Done.
Cool. All right,
Well,
guys. We appreciate your time.
Appreciate you
No,
guys
thank
coming
you guys.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
It's been a great time.
course.
Yeah. We appreciate it.
And we're excited to come check out the gym, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
please do.
Wait, how can people find you?
Our Instagram is just Lift Kansas City. We also have
Any underscores or anything
nope.
crazy
It
there?
is just I made it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
It's just Lift Kansas City. Our website is liftkansascity.com.
How did that not be taken yet? You guys are lucky.
I got that a year ago. I paid for that domain a year ago because I
Oh.
didn't want it to be taken.
I
Very
see
cool.
that.
Yeah, there's been a
I
few
locked
things
it
like
down.
that where we're locking things down. Oh, and I do want to say we have the entire pre-core glute builder line.
Oh, yes.
We have the best glute equipment in Kansas City. There's a
Yes.
few people that have one or two pieces, but we have the entire line that they just came out with. So
My wife's gonna be psyched about that.
We have very special.
Luke,
glute
did you hear
pieces.
that?
Yes.
You've been
Just for you,
talking about
buddy.
wanting to get your ass nicer.
yeah,
We're getting all the S2 guys to have nice booties when they're in there.
Yeah.
Our Wi-Fi password is dump truck, so we made sure that
Let's go.
we did it.
yeah.
Let's
that's,
go.
That's the spot. So
Yeah.
hey, Flex has got the leg room. We got the glute machines.
There you
So
go.
Love it.
I
yeah,
love it. I love it. Well, thank you guys for coming on.
no, we appreciate
thank
it.
you
Man.
guys.
Appreciate your guys' time.
Yeah.
All right, guys, if you've made it this far, you've gotten to the end of the episode. We really, really appreciate you taking the time and spending your day with us. As always, we'd really appreciate any kind of support you can give to the show. If you're new to the show, we do not run ads. We do not do anything to try to collect a fee. All we ask is that you guys please support the podcast, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and give it a share. So if you've gotten this far, thank you again for listening and making us a part of your day.